Technical Avenue.
Payment cards provide customers with the convenience of withdrawing cash through automated teller machine networks and transacting through merchants worldwide. However, there is a possibility of ATM and card reading machines being abused by criminals who wish to steal from the accounts of customers. Although this is common in other countries, it was something new to Sri Lanka. Hence, the authorities should be keen on this new development and take prompt measures to nip this menace in the bud before it transforms into a major scam.
The Payment Card Industry Association of Sri Lanka and the Sri Lanka Banks Association announced in 4 February 2019 that fraudulent withdrawals of funds via ATM skimming is being investigated and action is being taken, but urged the public and customers to maintain great vigilance. In a statement, the two organizations said member banks have received complaints from some customers that their accounts have been debited through fraudulent ATM withdrawals. This was a result of some card data that had been compromised through ATM skimming activities, where cloned cards have been created to make these fraudulent withdrawals. As soon as they received complaints, member banks took prompt action to attend to the complaints received and credit the accounts upon verification.
Finance Sector Computer Security Incident Response Team had requested the general public to be vigilant of their bank account balances and about unauthorized withdrawals. This warning was given to customers who do transactions via ATM cards. In addition, banks have proactively contacted customers whose cards had been used at identified ATM locations where the skimming had taken place.
Well, the automated teller machine users across Sri Lanka were taken aback recently due to social media reports of ATM skimming activities, which prompted the Payment Card Industry Association of Sri Lanka and the Sri Lanka Banks Association to issue a joint statement yesterday urging the public to inform their respective banks immediately in the event of any suspicious transaction noticed in their bank accounts. Now, the statement also came in the wake of complaints from some customers that their savings or current accounts were debited through fraudulent ATM withdrawals. While the two associations asserted that fraudulent withdrawals of funds via ATM skimming is being investigated, they urged the public and customers to maintain greater vigilance. In the meantime, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, in a notice today, said that customers are required to use EMV-enabled payment cards which carry an electronic chip which is visible on the card in order to strengthen the security of ATM transactions against any such criminal activities. The Criminal Investigations Department began investigations into reports of a scam carried out through ATM skimming activities where cloned cards had been created to make fraudulent withdrawals from bank accounts. 2 Chinese nationals and a Romanian were arrested in connection with such fraudulent activities and also seized 200 fake debit and credit cards, 2 card reading machines along with 1.2 million rupees in cash from their possession. In a joint statement, the Payment Card Industry Association of Sri Lanka and Sri Lanka Banks Association said that upon receiving customer complaints, member banks took prompt action, adding that ATM networks and cards are now safe for transactions. Meanwhile, the central bank today said that efforts of banks, payment card issuers, acquirers and regulators need to be supported and recognized by customers in order to safeguard any payment system and urge the usage of EMV-enabled payment cards which carry an electronic chip. The public is also advised to subscribe for the SMS transaction alert facility through their respective banks.
We have been informed by several banks during the last couple of days that there have been fraudulent transactions happened using some of the very few ATMs using ATM cards, where these fraudsters have connected a small device where you enter the ATM card in an ATM machine, and also they have connected a small camera. Using that, they have captured the data in the card, as well as from the camera they have captured the pin code. And then they take that device away and manufacture fraudulent cards, and they use these cards to withdraw cash from those cardholders' accounts. So immediately when the customers complain to the banks actually cancel those cards. So any further financial transaction cannot be done using those cards. So banks have taken precautions in that direction. The main thing for the general public is to be vigilant when they visit an ATM to see whether there are any unusual equipment that is connected to the ATMs, and if they see any such suspecting person, they should immediately inform the police or the security personnel at the bank. Third thing is actually the most important thing is every customer who has a bank account must register for the SMS alert service, so that even if somebody else tries to withdraw funds from their accounts, they get alerted from the bank, and then if there's a fraudulent transaction, they can immediately contact the bank and cancel the card. We have also been made aware that this has been carried out by several foreign nationals, and we got information that one person has already been arrested.
This is not the first time that Sri Lanka has had to deal with ATM card scammers.
The 4 Bulgarians who were arrested by the CID earlier this week for defrauding money by hacking ATMs have been remanded till the 11th of this month.
Investigations have revealed that the suspects installed surveillance equipment inside ATMs in order to fraudulently obtain information pertaining to numerous foreign nationals. The 4 suspects were nabbed by the CID in Mirsa earlier this week and were produced before the Mathura Magistrates Court, where they were remanded. The police state that the suspects are part of an international operation that has defrauded millions.
In 2017, 3 suspects were arrested over charges of using a skimming device to steal sensitive information from ATM cardholders. The suspects have reportedly stolen information of ATM cards from customers who came to withdraw money from ATM machines while appearing as bank officials. The suspects have obtained goods and money using cards created similar to the original cards after obtaining sensitive information of the ATM cardholders. Furthermore, this recent skimming incident has occurred on a long weekend, a time when many personnel from banks are away on leave. As such, one can't help but assume this was a premeditated attack. In this instance, these attackers placed skimming devices over the slots where you insert your card. These devices capture the details stored on the magnetic strip of your card. Additionally, they work in conjunction with a hidden camera or fake keypad placed over the original. These other devices are used alongside the skimmer to capture your PIN number. Skimmers usually select ATMs which are located in isolated locations, which the criminals could have easy access to. A device called a skimmer, which is very similar to an ATM card, is fixed into the card slot of machine. This device is in fact a fake keypad which is fixed on top of the existing keypad. Hidden cameras can also see you typing your PIN number. These devices capture the details stored on the magnetic strip of your card. The skimmers copy the ATM card information while it is entered into the card slot, allowing a criminal element to clone the card. The customers cannot identify the difference between what's fake and the original card slot at a glance. Criminals are trying to cash in before more place switch over to chip cards, which skimmers currently do not work on. Different types of sophisticated skimming tools can be easily found for sale on the dark web. While older devices were relatively easy to spot, new devices are stashed deep inside. Now there's a skimmer that is literally as thin as a credit card. And it slides into the slot and down. It's not even detectable. An even more sophisticated skimming device lets criminals avoid going back to the ATM. These skimmers include SIM cards which are used in cell phones. While banks and other ATM owners and operators continue to migrate their machines to EMV technology, the question remains that, will EMV ultimately solve this very serious problem? EMV has the potential to significantly curtail ATM skimming nationwide. However, fraud is a moving target. And when an industry implements solutions to address one risk, we typically see fraud resurface somewhere else. Criminals who are determined to commit fraud will find a way to do so. Skimmers paints a dangerous picture for the future. This is because card skimmers aren't only found at ATMs, they can also be found on the sales terminals at supermarkets like Kiehl's, Cargill's, or Arpico. Such terminals are practically everywhere.
Then, how can you stay safe from card skimmers?
If you're paranoid and terrified, then there's only one sure option: cancel your cards and switch to using cash for the rest of your life. Of course, that means unless you have unnatural amounts of good luck, you'll be stuck waiting in a queue at the bank for ages.
Sadly, life can be quite inconvenient without a debit or credit card. So what would be the real options?
For starters, activate mobile banking alerts. The exact charges for this can vary depending on your bank, but this would give you text message alerts whenever money is deposited or withdrawn from your account. Furthermore, before using an ATM, be sure to inspect it with a sharp eye. Check for obvious signs of tampering, such as dents or any broken parts. The easiest way is by nudging the card reader and keypad. Card skimmers and fake keypads can be easily removed. So if any part of the ATM doesn't feel firmly secured, then you might have found a skimmer.
And be sure to cover the keypad when you're entering your PIN to protect it from hidden cameras.
Finally, remember that card skimmers can also be found at businesses. These can be even harder to spot. Asking to nudge its parts might also be greeted with confused stares by sales personnel at stores. Thus, all the more reason to activate mobile banking alerts. At the end of the day, avoiding card skimmers is all about keeping a vigilant eye. In the digital world, this is how we stay safe from all kinds of threats. Eva Velasquez, the CEO and president of the Identity Theft Resource Center, said that, sometimes, avoiding card skimming isn't about detecting a device, it can be about modifying your behavior.
The Technical Avenue.